Greetings, everyone. This is Terry Naturally with another edition of Terry Talks Nutrition. We're here every Saturday and Sunday morning from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, and we are broadcasting from Green Bay, Wisconsin in the USA. And the reason I say that is because you can also listen anywhere around the world, even though that you aren't listening to our radio broadcast. We do live stream our programming to our website. And that website is terrytalksnutrition.com. If you want to listen live, which I'm sure may not be convenient for everybody, you would have to adjust your time where you are around the world to be on the same time we are here in the Central Standard Time in Green Bay, Wisconsin, or the Midwest of USA. But you can also listen to all the radio shows by going into the website of the radio section, to the archive section of the radio shows, and listen to any radio show at your convenience. You can download it to take it on the road with you. Or if you're hiking or running or working out, you can listen to my radio show by downloading it. And we are on several different channels in the U.S. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on iHeart, we're on many other ones. But go to the website, terrytalksnutrition.com, and there you can see where you can download it. It's on YouTube. It's around the world. And we do have listeners actually around the world. Technology is amazing. To be able to listen and to a radio show that comes out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, a little tiny city being broadcast around the world, it is amazing to me. But I do thank all of you who are out there listening, and hopefully that we are guiding you to a better degree of health and vitality. You can also get our newsletter, a weekly newsletter. I write it through the week. We send it out on Friday to your email address. So going on to the website, subscribing to the newsletter, or read all the newsletters that are archived in the section of the e-newsletter section of the articles. So we have a lot of information for you to help guide you. I'm not saying we're making decisions for you. I never tell you to go off your drugs. Drugs may be important for you at a certain period of your time. But I wish you would get off your drugs. And I hopefully that some of the things that we suggest will help you get off your drugs. As people get healthier, they realize they don't need the drugs. Or the doctor will say, you have changed enough health-wise that we're taking you off the drugs. Maybe your blood pressure has gone down to be normal. Or maybe your arthritis pain is gone. A lot of things change when you change your choices. Because every day we make choices, right? We choose what we eat. We choose what we wear. We choose what we drive. Everything is a choice. Unfortunately, 90% of Americans are making wrong choices. And they're eating just junk food and expecting their body to perform well. It is not going to happen. You can't put sugar in your gas tank of your car and expect it to perform well. And you can't expect your body to perform well if you are putting in a ton of sugar and carbohydrates and junk food. And now you are 50, 100 pounds overweight. Your body chemistry is changing by what you are putting into your body. It influences your body chemistry. Start putting in good food, good chemistry, and your body will respond in health. Lose the weight. Stop smoking. Stop drinking alcohol excessively. And choose a better quality of food for your diet. I'm not saying dieting. I don't want you to diet. I want you to select better foods. And if you do, like in the way of the ketogenic diet, you will lose weight if you need to lose weight. And it's not a challenge to lose weight. It's not a struggle to lose weight. If you pick the right foods, your body will normally lose weight to the ratio that it does for your body chemistry. You'll lose weight. You don't even have to try. If you eat the right foods, you don't have to struggle to diet. Dieting is not necessary when you eat right. You will lose the weight, no struggle. You will walk away from the table very satisfied. You can eat as much as you want of the right foods. It's not calories in and calories out. It's the food you eat that makes the difference in the chemistry of your body. Eating more proteins and fats will not make you fat. But eating carbohydrates, bread, pasta, cakes, pies, all those kinds of bread products, grain products, will cause you to be fat. And that changes your body chemistry dramatically. COVID-19 has been a huge challenge for people that are over fat or obese. They have the greatest impact of illness and death. Being healthy is smart. It saves you money. It provides you with a better degree of quality of life. You'll live longer, up to 14 years longer. And some people say, well, I don't want to live longer the way I feel. I understand that. But you'll live longer and you won't feel that bad. You'll feel better. You don't have to have all those aches and pains. Because you'll switch to an anti-inflammatory diet rather than the American diet, which is a pro-inflammatory diet. Sugar, carbohydrates, which are also a form of sugar. Vegetable oils are a pro-inflammatory group of foods. And that's all Americans eat. 80 to 90% of the American diet is carbohydrates and sugar. There is no emphasis on fats or good quality animal proteins. And that's what our body needs and our brain as well needs. So we're here just to guide you, maybe to open up your eyes and your mind that there is a possibility of really feeling healthy. And if you start earlier at the first signs, or maybe even before there are any signs, because the best cure for disease is prevention. Don't get a disease. And by eating better, you will not get a disease. Being healthy is your prevention against disease. It's not drugs. It's not your doctor. It's what you and I do every day that makes the difference. And some people just don't care. Some people just don't know that they can make changes. If they're struggling with a unhealthy condition, some illness, some disease, that can be turned around by changing your life. The choices you make every day decide who you are health-wise. And today we have a really good lineup of topics. We're going to talk about a surprise for you on how to improve your immune system. And that really is your natural, innate vaccine. Your immune system, if healthy, is the same as a vaccine. Do you want to get a vaccine? That's a subject you have to decide yourself. I would seek advice from your physician. I would talk to God through prayer and decide what is best for you. I know what my choice is, but that may not be your choice. That's again another choice. I'm working on a blog today that I'm writing for a future blog on my website that will explain what I believe in the vaccines today. I'm not a medical expert, but it's my choice. It's my personal view and opinion of the vaccines out today. And I'll explain what I consider, what I would say and suggest about whether or not we should have a vaccine. But it's my personal view. I'm not a medical expert. I'm not a doctor. But if you do enough research and enough thought and have some common sense, we can make a really good decision as to whether or not we should take a vaccine. We're going to also talk about gum disease and gum infection and respiratory infection, which is also part of our immune system. We talk about MS, multiple sclerosis, and how it is affected by fatty acids. Now, fatty acids come from fats. We need fats for our nervous system, for our brain. Our brain uses fats, not sugar. Our brain is only 2% of our body weight, but uses 25% of the cholesterol that's manufactured naturally by our body. But yet they try to take away the cholesterol for unknown reasons. There are no scientific reasons that cholesterol is bad for us. We could not live without cholesterol. Our body depends on it for a healthy body. Then we're going to talk about what really damages heart disease or causes heart disease, and that is triglycerides. Don't worry about your cholesterol, worry about your triglycerides. Triglycerides is a type of fat that is manufactured and produced from carbohydrates and sugar. So when anybody says, Terry, I've got a really high triglyceride level, what can I do? Well, first of all, look at your diet. Diet is the foundation of our health. Start with diet first. Stop the carbohydrates, stop the sugar, stop the junk foods. You may need some supplements that can help lower triglycerides. That can be very beneficial. But it really comes from the right down to the basic foundation of our health is food. Food is our medicine. And how to get a better night's sleep for the elderly. Many people that are older don't sleep well. And we're going to talk about what to give your dog as a nutrient of the day. There are some colon cancer signs and symptoms that you should never ignore. So we have a lot of information that we can share with you, and hopefully that this will make you have a better appreciation of your health and your body. So let's start off with a little bit of a shocker, maybe a surprise for you, but we can give you some information that's going to really make a difference. How to have optimal, that means really the best, optimal, ideally, primarily, immune care. Your immune system determines the health of your body. And 70 to 80% of it resides in your gut, your intestines. Why do we want to pay attention to our immune system? And are you paying more attention to your immune system today than ever? I hope so. We're being bombarded by a virus, and we always will be bombarded by a virus every year. The flu season, the cold season, those are all viruses. So how do we stop viral infection? Yes, a vaccine may be valuable, and that's something you have to discuss with your physician. I'm not going to make the decision for you. But we need to take care of our immune system. As I always say, it's like the army of a country. Why do we have an army? Why do we have the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Air Corps, all these divisions of our military? To protect our country from invasion of a foreign country or a foreign enemy. The military has all kinds of tools, aircraft, ships, all kinds of things that can protect us. So the Army is kind of our immune system. It protects our country. And our immune system is the army that protects our body. It is equipped with all kinds of immune-enhancing compounds and cells, B cells, T cells, all kinds of things that protect our body. But we don't feed the immune system with the healthy nutrients that it needs in order to maintain a powerful army to stop viral invasion, bacterial invasion, and fungal infection. And now, some people are waking up to the fact that they want a healthy immune system. That's why many people that have underlying health issues actually have the worst effect from COVID. They're extremely ill and may die because they have heart disease or type 2 diabetes, or they have cancer, or they have some underlying which already has compromised the immune system dramatically. Now the virus is only the straw that broke the camel's back. And now immune health products in America now account for 50% of the entire U.S. market of the sales for vitamins, minerals, and other supplements. Of course, demand peaked in early 2020, but still continues at a record high level. Now, you may know of some of these nutrients because we have shared our information with you in the past of some of these nutrients. But I'm going to surprise you on one. While you may know about vitamin D, it's been in the news. Many physicians are requesting the FDA to raise the level of what they believe we should have for vitamin D. At one time, the FDA said do not exceed 400 IUs, which is called international units, a measurement of the vitamin D. Otherwise, you would get sick, and it would be toxic. And now, after 30 years of research by some very excellent experts, medical experts, they found that we could use 5,000 to 10,000 units of vitamin D. And one of the most powerful protectant of the immune system and many other functions of the body. We also talked about elderberry. Elderberry blocks the uptake of viruses. We also talked about the 4 or 5 other nutrients, in fact 4 vitamins and 2 minerals. Vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin D, zinc, and selenium. Now, there are medical textbooks that cover the value of these 6 nutrients that are absolutely required for different various functions of the immune system. So if you're missing vitamin D, or so have such a low intake of vitamin D, or if you are not getting sufficient quantities of selenium or zinc or A, not beta-carotene. Beta-carotene does not work on infections. It has to be straight vitamin A. If you see beta-carotene as vitamin A, it's not going to be any value for you. But now there have been 28,000 studies on a molecule that has tremendous benefits for the immune system. Now, many of you may recognize this molecule, but you may only realize or think you realize that it's for one thing only. And this molecule is melatonin. Now, isn't melatonin just for helping with sleep? Well, that's why it is so known for sleep, because it has been so much promoted to give you a good night's sleep. But after 28,000 studies, melatonin is probably one of the most important nutrients that everyone should take every day, like vitamin D. And the older we get, the less melatonin we produce. So maybe somebody under the age of 40 may still be producing enough melatonin to reach all the receptor sites in the body where melatonin attaches to and provides better health. But as we get older, we produce less. Melatonin is secreted in the brain by the pineal gland at nighttime. So it starts releasing melatonin from the pineal gland in the advance of darkness. So many people stay up late at night, artificial lighting, so they produce less melatonin. And there's a lot of all these screens that people watch and look at, your mobile phone, the screens, TV, computers, all that lighting delays the release of melatonin from the pineal gland. Now, many people believe that melatonin is a hormone. But melatonin acts like no other hormone in the body. Melatonin is found in nature everywhere. It's in every living plant, animal, fish, and human body. So no hormone has ever been found in food. No hormone has ever been found in any other living substance outside of the body. When you release a hormone from the gland in the body, that's the only place you will ever have that gland released, that hormone released, rather. DHEA is a hormone. It's released from the adrenal glands. It's not found in food. Melatonin is found in everything. So the experts on melatonin believe that it is not a hormone, but it is a molecule, a compound that regulates the circadian rhythm, which keeps a regular sleep cycle. Yes, it does help people sleep. But melatonin is also beneficial for depression, anxiety, stomach ulcers, cancer prevention and treatment, extremely valuable for breast cancer, prostate cancer, weight loss, regulating blood pressure, reducing inflammation, protecting vision, and some very, very good clinical studies that shows that it is a very, very powerful antiviral, antibacterial, and has been very successfully treating COVID-19, the virus that we are fighting today. So how does it work? Well, this is a good subject we want to spend some time with. And I know I have to take a short break here in a matter of a few seconds. So I'm not going to get into the subject as how it works, because I don't want to break at the moment when all this is being disseminated. I want you to get a full picture of why melatonin works and how it works. Because I found after about 1.5 years of research on melatonin, realizing that there are 28,000 studies. It is the most studied natural product in the world. And right now there's sales across America on melatonin is about $800 million, and it's growing by leaps and bounds because it has such a powerful impact on the body. I don't want you to miss this. So I'm going to take a short break, but I'm going to come back right here on Terry Talks Nutrition. I'm Terry Naturally. And welcome back, my friends. This is Terry Naturally, back with the second portion of our show today, terrytalksnutrition.com. For any other information, videos, a radio show, newsletters, which you can view, listen, and read all kinds of information at the website, and it's all free. We are just trying to educate you on a variety of topics. And we have some brand new books coming out that are listed on my website. My goal is to come out with 9 books this year. So I am very busy, not only with the radio show, but writing, doing some traveling, doing some research. I'm just trying to bring you more information that can make you have a healthier and better life. Somebody changed my life many years ago, and since then I've been trying to change other people's lives as well, if they choose. It's a freedom of choice. But many books are extremely valuable for you to read. And you can find these on Amazon. You can find these in health food stores. I wrote a book on Andrographis, one of my most favorite herbs. It is one of the most powerful antiviral, and that's exactly what we want today, antiviral, because we are being attacked by a virus. And just this week, I came out with my latest book, Nature's Remedy to Conquer Pain. And all this information is available for you, and you can read and give consideration to this information. But right now, we're going to talk about how melatonin works. Well, melatonin does not act directly against the virus or against bacterial or fungal pathogens. Instead, and this is where it gets powerful, it normalizes the immune response. When we're attacked by a foreign invasion, virus, bacteria, or fungus, The immune system has to be at its peak level, optimal level, to respond. And if you're eating junk, sleeping a few hours a night, smoking, drinking, overweight, your immune system is compromised and it is not at its optimal level. And that's why people that have an underlying health issue, or they're overweight or obese, their immune system is in the toilet. It's not working. You're flushing your immune system down the toilet by the way we live. The immune over-response by viral attack causes a cytokine storm where the body attacks its own cells and tissues instead of fighting the invasive pathogens, and leads to excessive inflammation, oxidative stress, severe illness, and maybe even death. And we've seen that the last year and a half. Since January, not too severe, but by March, everyone knew COVID-19. Everyone knew there was a virus out there that was attacking people. But why do some people survive? Why do some people have only mild illnesses? It all depends on the quality of your immune response and the quality of the health of your immune system. That's it, bottom line. It's based on our immune system and how it responds to the attack of the virus. So if we have an immune system that cannot perform, it has an under response, then we have infection and illness. And some people don't make it. Unfortunately, death is the ultimate end. Some people fight it for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Some people don't even know they got it. They test positive, there's no signs or symptoms because their body is efficiently and effectively fighting the virus. And the proper immune response, what we want to have all the time, whether it might be a cold virus, flu virus, or whatever it might be. When we have a proper functioning immune system, we then have a strong resistance and a fast recovery. We killed the enemy, as an army would when the war lasts for a very short time, because the army was strong, has a great resistance, and was able to overcome the enemy. Our job is to overcome the enemy. By giving you a vaccine, they are causing your immune system to respond, to recognize that virus, and know when to act. But it doesn't make your immune system stronger. We still need those 4 vitamins, 2 minerals, and many other factors as well. And here we are with melatonin being one of the most powerful antiviral molecules known to man. So here's an example. Melatonin and the flu. Comparison of melatonin versus the anti-inflammatory drug Celebrex as a treatment for influenza. The result of the study. The lifespan increased, and the inflammation in the lungs decreased when treated with melatonin versus the drug and a placebo. I should say and or a placebo. With 21 days of treatment after exposure to the virus of influenza, 45% of the melatonin group were still alive, versus 25% of the Celebrex group and 20% of the placebo group. This was done in an animal model. When taking melatonin before, like using it daily, like would be pre-treatment, and after becoming infected with the virus, the results were even better. If you're taking it on a daily basis, pre-treatment, 70% of the melatonin group was still alive at day 21 versus only 30% on the drug group and 20% of the placebo group. Melatonin was the most effective and efficient protecting the animal from the virus. Now this even gets better. When you use melatonin, and maybe with the 4 vitamins and minerals, it gets more powerful. Because all these vitamins and minerals have an effect very similar to melatonin. So make sure you're getting the other nutrients as well, but I'll show you a very good combination shortly. Inflammatory immune cell production. And that's what many, many people die from. Was reduced by about 10% in the lungs of animals treated with melatonin versus the animals receiving a placebo. Now, here is the one I really like. I wrote a book on Andrographis. It is one of the most powerful plants, herbs, or botanicals, however you choose to call it, as an antiviral. So if you pair, or combine, I should say, melatonin with Andrographis, you're going to have a very, very powerful antiviral combination. Melatonin optimizes the immune system, like saying not too hot, not too cold, but just right. It protects the immune system like nothing else. Remember when we learned about vitamin D and how vitamin D now is everywhere? It seems like everybody wants to use it. That's the way melatonin should be. We should be taking melatonin like a vitamin. But it is so much more than a vitamin. Then when you combine that with Andrographis, the herb, it directly attacks the virus and bacteria or fungus and speeds recovery after infection. Andrographis is the best cold and flu fighter that I've ever seen. For upper respiratory tract infection, for any infection, bladder infection, kidney infection, Andrographis is the go-to to keep your body healthy. It is so much more. Then when you combine that with melatonin and Andrographis together in the same formulation, you have a powerful antiviral combination. In a clinical study, Andrographis relieved the intensity of key symptoms such as fatigue, sore throat, runny nose, sleeplessness in just 2 days. People that were under attack from a virus, cold and flu virus, were recovering within just 2 days. Where otherwise those that were on a drug or a placebo did not recover until 10 days, if they did recover. In a study of 223 people with upper respiratory tract infections, and that's what people are fighting from the COVID-19 virus, is the upper respiratory infections. The Endographis group saw a dramatic decrease in cough, headache, sore throat, disturbed sleep by day 3. The placebo group had no improvement, and actually some had more severe symptoms in the placebo group. Think of infection. Think of cold and flu, all viral related. And the combination of melatonin and Endographis would be so superior over drug therapy. Now, Endographis and melatonin are powerful on their own. But really, how to use them? I would suggest a combination. It's a combination I like. It's 5 milligrams of melatonin, which is a middle of the range for melatonin. And melatonin really has no side effects, completely non-toxic. 5 milligrams of melatonin, plus I would add 300 milligrams of Endographis, and then combined with zinc and selenium, like 15 milligrams of zinc and about 65 micrograms of selenium. And why? Well, the immune system cannot work without zinc. Now that's where the vitamins and minerals start to come into play. So about 15 milligrams and selenium 65 micrograms. Now there are some very, very good studies on both. I mean, there are textbooks written on zinc. There are textbooks written on selenium. Doctors ignore them or they don't believe in them. I don't know what it is, but they're medical textbooks. I've read them. And I don't understand all of it, but I understand enough that I can understand the research. Doctors don't try to read them. Maybe they don't have time to read them because they're chasing sick people. They're not trying to help healthy people. They did studies with selenium. They took 2 groups of animals, divided them in half. They both got the same dietary intake. One group got selenium. The second group was given a chow for the animal that eliminated all the selenium. They made sure there was no selenium in that group of animals, and then they injected them with a virus. The animals that had the diet with selenium, after being injected with the virus, some of the animals got mildly sick, but none of them died. And they recovered back to normal shortly. In the group that had no selenium in their diet, got the same virus, 50% of the animals died because without selenium, the virus becomes a killer just by missing a mineral. These are so important for our health. I can't begin to encourage you to start looking into vitamins and minerals for your health. Very, very powerful. Zinc, for example, direct activity against pathogens, shown to reduce the symptoms and duration of illnesses associated with viral infections. And the best form is called zinc bisglycinate chelate. That's the most effective, best absorbed form of zinc. And then selenium, a deficiency associated with increased risk of bacterial viral infections. Selenium supplementation increases activity of immune system function cells, and the best form is called selenium yeast. Y-E-A-S-T, yeast. Now, there also is a really good bonus to taking selenium. The FDA has recognized that there are many forms of cancer which reduces the risk of those cancers when you are taking at least 200 micrograms of selenium. Now, this combination, because of the andrographis melatonin combination with zinc and selenium, should be taken at nighttime, because melatonin works at night. It's not a daytime nutrient, it's a nighttime nutrient. Caveman, when dark descended on them through the day, they went to bed. Then eventually they started lighting a fire to have more time. Then eventually it became that we have lighting all the time. So the longer you are under lighting, artificial lighting, TVs, light in the house, whatever it might be, watching TV before going to bed is not a good policy, because all that lighting stops melatonin from being released from the pineal gland. So take this combination about an hour to 2 hours before bedtime. Build your immune system. It's like your own natural vaccine. All right, let's talk a little bit about gums and respiratory infections. Again, we're talking about respiratory infections. Gum disease may increase the risk of respiratory failure. Patients hospitalized with COVID-19 were more likely to experience respiratory failure, and that's why they die, if they had gum disease prior to becoming infected with the virus, the COVID-19 virus. Inflammation in the gums can allow inflammatory compounds, especially interleukin-6, which is an inflammatory compound, and bacteria from the mouth to spread throughout the body, including the lungs. It also is similar to how heart disease is initiated by gum disease. People that have gum disease are more highly at risk for heart disease and a heart attack. Previous research found that high levels of interleukin-6, the levels of interleukin-6 in COVID-19 patients were associated with a 22 times higher risk of respiratory failure and complications. And what? 80%, that's 80% of Americans have some form of gum disease. The mouth is one of the dirtiest parts of the body. More harmful bacteria in your mouth than in your colon. The gums have many blood vessels that bacteria can get into and spread throughout the body. So remember, if you want good, healthy gums and get rid of gum disease and stop bleeding gums, here's a couple of things you want to remind yourself of. First of all, remember to floss daily, if not twice daily, once in the morning and once at night. Brush your teeth. see your dentist maybe at least twice a year. Some people go every 3 months, but I would suggest maybe every 6 months. And to stop any gum disease, take CoQ10. CoQ10 is remarkable for reducing gum disease. Now, I would suggest a very special form of CoQ10. You don't need a lot of CoQ10. CoQ10 is a very difficult molecule to be absorbed. So absorption is key. Not how much you take, but how much you absorb. And there's a chewable CoQ10. It's a tablet that is, the CoQ10 is bound to a vegetable starch that has been known to increase the absorption of CoQ10 up to 800%, 8 times. So here you have a tablet that's absorbed 8 times. So a 100 milligram chewable tablet of CoQ10 is the equivalent to 800 milligrams of a CoQ10 powder or soft gel capsule. It's easy to take. Anybody can take it. And it only needs one a day. One tablet a day. And it has such remarkable benefits, especially for cardiovascular health. Prevents heart disease. It is one of the best nutrients for your heart. And those people that are on statin drugs, that lowers cholesterol. It also lowers your CoQ10 that is manufactured by the same enzyme system as manufactured cholesterol. So when they lower cholesterol, they lower your CoQ10 as well, which is one of the most important nutrients for your heart. So the body makes CoQ10 and cholesterol together. That's essential for really good heart health, and they're reducing it. CoQ10 has many other benefits as well. Not only for gum disease, not only for heart disease, but for your brain. And many people have been able to stop migraine headaches and reduce the risk of migraine headaches with CoQ10. And all you need is one chewable wafer a day. And when you think about it, 80% of Americans, that might increase by 22 times respiratory complications and failure through gum disease. So our bodies are so unhealthy, that's why people have the risk of viral infection and upper respiratory tract infection and possibly death. Just because their body is so unhealthy. Our bodies are so unhealthy. Americans are so unhealthy. That's why we have such a high record of cases of cases of COVID-19 and death. Unfortunately, America is one of the sickest countries in the world. It's driven by drugs and junk food. Hey, my friends, join me tomorrow. I'll be right back here, 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. I'm all out of time today, but I'll bring you more ideas, suggestions, recommendations, and science tomorrow and throughout the year. So with that, my friends, pray for this crazy, mad world, insane world. And God bless you. And God bless America.